The things that I loved as a young girl, I had lost. I felt like a captured person that was just trying to break free of a shell, like, let me out. There was always just this underlying sadness that I was becoming unrecognizable to myself. I did well in law school. I did well in engineering. I graduated in the top 10% of my civil engineering class, and I got a lot of offers after law school. Like, I could do anything I put my mind to except for my weight. I was gaining weight near the end of law school. The doctors would say, you need to lose weight, and I remember thinking, I have no idea how, and if it comes down to losing weight to have kids, I actually thought I might not have kids. That was the beginning of kind of uncontrollable weight gain. At my heaviest, I was 302. I broke probably 4 or 5 chairs. My husband tied my shoes a lot of the days. I remember waiting for 45 minutes to get on a roller coaster, and they can't push the thing down because your stomach's so big. And then they're like, okay, ma'am, you need to step off. Then you're leaving your 7-year-old son to ride it alone because you can't fit. I had lots of those experiences at 300. You just kind of become outsized from society. Whether it's perceived or real, you feel dismissed and invisible by people when you're really overweight. If people ask me, when did you want to make the change? And I felt like, well, for 15 years I wanted to make the change. Last summer was the life changer for me. My son's really close friend experienced that tragedy of having his mom and son shot in front of him, and then he too was shot. Here's a kid that suffered probably the greatest tragedy a person can ever experience, and he's everyday functioning, and he's getting up, and I'm carrying this burden that I can't get rid of, and I can probably do something hard too. Later on in the summer, I would always bike along the path where his mom was laying, and he was left there. When I would bike up that hill, and I would just kind of close my eyes and go up that hill and picture this little boy, and I'd say to myself, fight, Alissa, fight for your life. You can have your life taken away, and I'll have squandered it from not being who I wanted to be. I don't want to be this way anymore. I want to shed this external physical appearance, and I want to shed the fears I've created for myself. I always loved the feeling of biking from the time I was a little girl. That was the very beginning exercise I did. I thought, I'm going to go to elementary school and back on the Madsen. And then I did that every day for 3 weeks, and on the 3rd week I thought, son of a gun, why is this not easier? This is still as hard as it was. But then I realized I didn't stop, and I didn't ever get off. You don't always have words to a feeling. And I remember smiling, riding it, and thinking, what am I feeling? And I thought, oh, I'm feeling joy. It has been a long time since I have felt joy. And I remember feeling like the wind on my face, leaves glistening, and it was this completely, it was like taking me back to being a child again. I felt free. So the Madsen became kind of a critical, almost like a weight loss tool for me. I just loved how slow life became, and that I could notice houses and people and birds and the sunset more on my bike than if I were in my Suburban. In the past year, I've lost almost 140 pounds. I owe it to Madsen Cycle because it gave me equipment that made losing weight joyful. Life is really fragile. People die of obesity. The Madsen saved my life.